Marc-Andre Fleury and his numbers in elimination games. He was pulled after giving up 4 in game number 5. All even strength goals. Ironically, he had only given up 4 even strength goals in the first 4 games of the series. And Dwayne Roloson, he talked about the 12-hour rule of forgetting that overtime goal that went in at such a horrific angle in game 4 that gave Pittsburgh the 3-1 series lead. And Roloson came back with a strong performance, stopping 31 of 33 in game 5. Also had a 50-save performance earlier in this series, but we are ready to go. And the big three are all together to start for Guy Boucher. The Cavalier between Stamkos and St. Louis as the Penguins dump it back behind Roloson. Put around the boards on the near side by Niskanen out to center ice. Zbigniew Mikhailiuk is there in the playoffs for just the second time in his career. He made his debut with the Phoenix Coyotes last year in the 7-game first-round series against Detroit. Mikhailiuk anxious as we saw him coming in this morning for the morning skate.
Good step up there by Olin, taking away the blue line. Long stretch pass there by Mikhailiuk to the smaller Kennedy. But Kennedy knew he was going to get crunched, and he takes a hit to make the play, getting the puck in deep.
Stamkos sends it across for St. Louis as both coaches now look to make their first change here. Dave Strader up in the booth. You just heard the voice of Darren Pang, our man inside the glass. Now cleared off the far side out to center ice, and Dupuis for the Penguins dumps it back in. Now played up the far side and back the other way now. Letestu taken to the boards here was Downey now. Tries to get it in front. Knocked away by the stick of Fleury. Tries to cover up. That's loose. Dominic Moore and Downey doing some work in deep. And now it's picked up by Letang, and he sends it all the way back down the ice. And Clark coming back, getting some signals there from Roloson that it was going to be an icing.
Well, with the long stretch pass taking place without the center ice line, many teams just fire it from blue line to blue line. And you stop it here, you see that on this side, you know that there's going to be some pressure coming in. And there's Kennedy chip and a pretty good hit along the boards right there, but it does get in deep. Job done by Mikhailiuk and by Kennedy for the Pittsburgh Penguins early.
The Cavalier and Talbot on this face-off deep in the Pittsburgh zone.
And now Guy Boucher, the head coach of the Tampa Bay Lightning, settling things down. That first shift they had the big boys, but now he's got Teddy Purcell with Le Cavalier and Simon Gagne. And that will be a constant line at even strength for Tampa Bay.
Purcell sent it back to the point. It's deflected in wide of Fleury. Now back up the far side, and Talbot able to clear it back the other way. A race here. Connor taken wide by Bergeron. Marc-Andre Bergeron, who did not play in the first 4 games of this series, but was a 7th defenseman that was put into the lineup for Game 5. And Guy Boucher deciding to go with the exact same lineup, 11 forward, 7D. Dan Bilesma, the Pittsburgh coach, going with the exact same lineup that he used in Game 5. And that play offside at the Pittsburgh line.
Well, for Guy Boucher, he has had success wherever he's been. And Strays, it was great having that conversation today with Guy Boucher, talking about, you know, the element that is the Stanley Cup Finals. Is he overwhelmed with it? And not at all. He's been there with Team Canada World Juniors in Ottawa, trying for a 5th straight gold medal. Doesn't get much louder, boisterous, or have more responsibility as a head coach than that, or a coach, part of the coaching staff. And Memorial Cups in Canadian Major Junior A hockey.
Yeah, he just talked about being involved in big events behind the bench and the weight of an entire country on your shoulders when you're coaching Team Canada at any level. So he's comfortable in this situation as Letestu sends it into the glove of Roloson, and he will hold it there. And we had a chance to have a little private time with Dan Bilesma before anybody took the ice. He talked, Panger, about possibly some lineup changes or juggling lines if he has the same personnel in there. And well, you got to like what he's done as a coach at playoff time in the National Hockey League.
Terrific. He's on my top 3 ballots as a coach of the year in the National Hockey League. He's done a marvelous job. He's looking for a higher level of play from 2 guys in this one, the Letestu and Kovalev, as part of that one line with James the real deal Neal on the left side.
Well, this line has given Bilesma everything most of the time, whether the game's been out of hand or not, and that is Rupp on the left side with Craig Adams and Aaron Asham. As this play is offside once again. So Taylor Hall trying to bring it into the zone.
Well, this is a series in which a lot of people thought special teams battle, for sure. I mean, Tampa Bay's power play versus Pittsburgh's phenomenal penalty kill. And what a matchup it would be. Well, certainly in game 5, the difference was 4 for 7 on the power play. The first 10 minutes of game 5, Pittsburgh was outstanding. Outstanding. Pushed the pace, felt they were in pretty good control, and then the game just slid away from them.
Exactly. Now a turnover in the neutral zone. Back the other way, a worse shot here by Adams up high over top of the net.
Ryan Malone blew it higher there at center ice.
Adams tries to send it back to the high slot, deflected by Taylor Hall, but it's recovered by Lovejoy. Sends it back toward that Tampa bench. Right as here making a change. Always dangerous.
Yeah, always a smart play, though. Never a bad play putting it towards the bench when you know they're making a line change. You never know what you get.
Situation like that, you think that's what a player tried to do, Panger? He knows that there's going to be some confusion.
I think someone on the Pittsburgh bench said, get it deep.
Yeah, right. Just happened to be on that side. It might work out for too many men on the ice. It didn't in that situation. It was down to 4 plays it ahead. Now Bergenheim trying to get himself free. Trying to control the puck. Kicks it ahead. Here's Downey. Takes it to the corner. Written in there by Brooks Orpik. Now Kennedy had it stripped away. Bergenheim, who, believe it or not, leads this Tampa Bay team in shots on goal in these playoffs with 16 coming in. It's not any of the big guns as this Letang shot handled easily by Rolison. Let's go inside the glass, presented by Reebok ZigTech with Darren Pang.
One of the great players in the game is Marty St. Louis, obviously of the Tampa Bay Lightning, and no matter what area of the ice he's in, offensively, defensively, leads by example. And that's one of the reasons why Steven Stamkos talks an awful lot about not cheating just to get points, because he looks at a guy like Marty St. Louis, a real leader in the locker room, a former MVP of the National Hockey League, a Stanley Cup winner in 2004 with Vincent Lecavalier, who's taking the face-off right now.
How about what Eric Brewer told us about Marty St. Louis when you asked him, Panger, the player that he was most surprised by once he got to be a teammate?
Yep, he put him in the all-world.
Yeah, he did.
The very top end of the National Hockey League for a lot of reasons. In the locker room, how he handles things, how he trains, just the example that he sets. And that's why Steve Yzerman, the general manager, signed him. That was one of his first priorities, get him to a long-term deal, and he did. He was going to be unrestricted after this year if they didn't sign him.
Nearly turned over, but the Penguins do keep it in the Tampa zone, and now Brett Clark with it. He was pressured there by Chris Connor, but now Clark able to move it to Victor Hedman.
And that's what Pittsburgh wants to do. They really feel like they can play the game below the goal line of the Tampa Bay Lightning. They will have success. They did that well for the first 10 minutes of Game 5. Obviously, that got away, as I explained before. But they will try to get that puck in deep and generate offense from behind the goal line and force the Tampa Bay defensemen straights to move around, get them turning.
Bergeron drifting back down to regroup, sends it ahead. Now St. Louis makes the pass to Stamkos across the line, trying to hit Malone. That was knocked away. Kunitz almost picked up a loose puck in the neutral zone. It's recovered now by Pavel Kabina, one of 3 Lightning players that had a pair of goals in that 8-2 rout. Now it's center ice. St. Louis had it knocked away. Kunitz turns it right back now into the Tampa Bay zone. Drops it back for Kovalev. It's intercepted. Kabina slides it ahead out of the reach of Stamkos. And here's Letang pushing it ahead. Runs into Kabina. And you're going to feel that when you run into him.
He's 240 pounds. That's a big man, Kabina is. Part of that 2004 Stanley Cup championship team.
There's so much talk, Panger, about the first goal in these playoffs, and teams have success. The team that scores first in this series is 1-5, but it should be pointed out the team that scores first in this series also has scored second. The 2-goal leads have been the norm. This play just offside at the Pittsburgh blue line.
One of the things about Tampa Bay, they often employ what is a one. Is to stop it right here, and we'll explain. You see, you got the 1, 3, and the 1. That's the defenseman back there, and it's a system in which the opposition will try to go D to D to D to D. And I mean, Washington did that earlier in the year. Remember when Dwayne Rolison first came on board, beat Washington 1-0? Washington had a heck of a time against Tampa Bay, and then they beat them, and they went D to D. They really slowed things down, and they were patient with that outlet pass. It's a very disciplined style, and it's hard to adapt to when you're the opposition.
So Pavel Kabina looked like he was getting worked on that Tampa bench. Took a while to drop that puck because Craig Adams stayed down. He did not want to give an inch of ice before that puck was dropped on a faceoff in the neutral zone. Now here's a chance for Thompson. Hands it off for a shot that goes just wide of Fleury. And Hall had that opportunity. There's Thompson in there. So Thompson and Hall are kind of the extra two forwards that will be rotated with another winger to form a fourth line, if you will, for Guy Boucher.
And you saw that Downey was on that side, so a lot of extra ice time to go around. I've never heard of a player say, no, don't put me on the ice. Forwards love it, defense don't, because it's 7-11.
Eric Brewer tried to play it around and hit one of the partitions, but now the Lightning able to get it to center ice. Here's Dominic Moore. In the playoff last year for that great run by Montreal all the way to the Eastern Conference Finals. Turned back in toward Fleury, but taken there by Martin, who was back defensively. And Kennedy now for the Penguins across the center ice line. Takes it wide. Gets it to the front off the pad of Rolison. And chipped out to center ice. McCulloch played it ahead, but it's turned over the neutral zone. Played ahead by Purcell, but look how quickly the Penguins get back and recover. Gagne trying to get in on Orpik, forced him to turn the puck over. Now here's Purcell with it. Martin had the elbow out on him, trying to hold him up along the board. Now Jordan Stahl is there, but the Lightning get it right out in front. A chance here. Loose puck recovered by Kennedy, and the Penguins chip it off the boards and out to center ice.
Now that all started because Teddy Purcell had a soft chip on the right side, but it allowed Simon Gagne to get in as the first man in on the forecheck. He put pressure on Pittsburgh's D, and Purcell ends up getting a scoring chance.
Now Orpik with some room, skates at the center ice. Turn back.
Yeah, one forechecker, that's Malone. There you see the three in the middle. And the 1D, Cabina, is at the top of the circle.
And Cabina angles it up the near boards. Oh, what a play. Now Stamkos goes down. No call made. It's going to be an offside call here with just over 8 minutes gone by in the first period of Game 6. No score.
Hey, Dave, we're out of Bud Light. Oh, good thing I just downloaded this app. Here we go.
It's the sure sign of a good time. Just right taste of Bud Light. Here we go.
Nice app.
I gotta get a new phone.
Think you're stuck paying high auto insurance rates because of your driving record? Then now is the time to change the game. Just go to thegeneral.com or call us for a super fast quote. All it takes is a couple of minutes. You'll get a great low rate, low monthly payment, and a down payment as low as $59. You'll also get instant proof of insurance.
Show off.
For a great low rate you can get online, go to the General and save some time.
Edmunds.com says that Lexus holds its value better than any other luxury brand. Telechoice proclaims that Lexus has the best overall value of any brand. And J.D. Power & Associates ranks Lexus the highest in customer satisfaction. No wonder more people have chosen Lexus over any other luxury brand 11 years in a row. See you in Lexus dealer.
Marty St. Louis and the Lightning facing elimination. Let's take a look at the U.S. Army League leaders. Playoff goals against average. Niedermaki, who's gotten a little bit of time in that series against Los Angeles out in San Jose. Neuberth just terrific against the Rangers. Carey Price still playing, of course, going to a Game 6 in his series against Boston. Wayne Rolison, one of the many changes that Steve Yzerman made to this team. And Tanger, I think safe to say the most important acquisition he made once the season started.
Yeah, he signed Dan Ellis in the offseason, unrestricted free agent, and 2-year deal, $1.5 a year. And then moves Dan Ellis to Anaheim, brings in Dwayne Rolison, who's unrestricted end of the year. Rolison has been a rock-steady force. And the good news for Tampa Bay is that Mike Smith.
Look out here, a turnover shot, score! Dupuis right in front of Rolison after the puck was turned over behind the net. That's given the Penguins a 1-0 lead.
Well, Rolison switches hands, and he likes to go to the backhand. He's a right-handed shot, so naturally he likes to switch it around and swing it to his backhand. He was hesitant behind the net on the play. McCulloch dumps it in, and now at this particular point, see this switching of the hands? And there's a little hesitation right there. And he gets beat, intercepted, and Pascal Dupuis is right there on the doorstep. Again, Dupuis banks it in. Now he goes to the front of the net. There's this small little chip right there. And Maxime Talbot, he reads it perfectly. And Bergeron's the outlet, but it's got to go hard around the boards with a lot more authority. Those can be real momentum-sapping goals against on home ice in an elimination game. One thing about Rolison is he's as resilient as they get.
Yeah, absolutely.
But that next play against him is going to be really important. A real kind of a bounce-back play.
As we've mentioned, the team that has scored first in this series has gone on to get the second goal. So now the Tampa Bay Lightning trailing 1-0 as Kunitz went for a big hit, just missed Dominic Moore. Now here is Moore with it, pushing it ahead, or tried to get it into the Pittsburgh zone, but it's turned back, and now Kunitz slides it across. Kovalev drops it back. Pass for Kunitz, hit his skate. Kovalev, who scored the first goal of this series. And he's going to take a penalty here, the first penalty of game 6. So the vaunted Tampa Bay power play is going to have a chance. Rollinson gets to the bench for the extra attacker. Now the Lightning with a chance to go to work here, see if they can do something with the goaltender pulled 6 on 5, and first will recognize that teammates are going to go offside. You don't want to just dump it into this situation, Panger. You know somebody's going to touch it for the opposition.
You already get that.
Yeah.
Face-off already goes in offense zone. You're right. Make a play.
And here is Hedman trying to make a play right to the front. Fleury is down. Backhanded to the top of the blue paint, but picked off there by Orpik, and we will get the call against the veteran Kovalev.
Well, never a good time to take a penalty after you've scored a goal and you've got a little bit of momentum. And there's the stick gets hung up in Moore. When Moore came for a line change just shortly after that, oh boy, did Letestu ever give him a good shove into the boards here. Kovalev goes off, and that 4-for-7 power play in Game 5 will go to work.
And the Lightning go man up for this Miller Lite power play. 8-for-22 overall in the series. As Stamkos whips it across on the far side, sent to the net, and Brewer's shot is handled by Fleury. And you talked about the Game 5 win on the road, and Tampa Bay's power play dominated.
Absolutely it did. I mean, you give this kind of power play, a little confidence early on, especially with Stamkos scoring that first goal, getting things going, but Cabina with a sharp angle shot high over the glove. I mean, it knocked Fleury out of the net, and Brent Johnson had to come in, and the confidence was on. For Pavel Cabina, who had 2, Stamkos had 2.
There are the overall numbers for the Tampa Bay Lightning. They were just 2-for-21 against Pittsburgh in the regular season. That's why people say when you look at regular season numbers, you can toss them out once the postseason starts, because everything starts over again. But most of Tampa Bay's damage on the power play has been in Pittsburgh, as there's a problem with the clock here at the St. Pete Times Forum, where about 8 seconds ran off the game clock, but only 1 second came off the Kovalev penalty. And Pittsburgh's thinking, look, it's hard enough to contain this Tampa power play. Don't make it 2 minutes and 8 seconds on us. We're going to check things out here and get this situation figured out.
Stamkos is the key here, straight on the power play anyway. With his movement, his ability to walk the line, that's a key. But Eric Brewer is really the steadying force as well. He gets shot through. It's not hard, but he's smart in how he gets cut through the net.
Stamkos after a clean face-off win by LeCavalier. Now Brewer hoisting it back to Gagne. Now to Stamkos. Stamkos shot through traffic, loose, and it's picked up by the Penguin penalty killers and backhanded by Adams all the way back down into the Tampa zone. You mentioned Pittsburgh penalty kill, #1 in the National Hockey League during the course of the regular season, better than 86%. A lot of pride in your penalty killer.
Stamkos just kept that in.
Nifty hands, huh?
He was kind of slow getting to the blue line there.
Gagne, St. Louis whips it to the front, deflected out straight away where Brewer has it. He lets a shot go blocked by Adams, who was right in front of him. Now it comes to Stamkos. Gagne hands it off down low. Here was St. Louis with it. St. Louis rolls it back in deep for Gagne. Still a minute remaining on this Kovalev penalty as it comes out Eric Brewer with a shot that is blocked. That was Adams who timed it perfectly. Now Brewer hands it off to Stamkos. That can't feed to Gagne. Out straight away for St. Louis. Back for Gagne. Far side. Brewer able to get to it. Centering pass deflected away by Fleury. Stamkos takes the shot. St. Louis nearly lost it, but got it by 2 Penguins. Here's a shot that is stopped by Fleury. He does not give up a rebound. Oh, boy, that was nearly a A 2-on-0 shorthanded breakaway, and St. Louis was very calm under pressure.
Well, he was backing up there and trying to toe drag two Pittsburgh Penguin forwards, and the Penguins are doing an excellent job of pressuring the high men of the Tampa Bay Lightning. Putting pressure on Stamkos and Brewer, and there's the play by Stamkos, just keeping it in. Good call by the linesman. And here's that, he's trying to bring it back into his feet and barely pushed it ahead over to Brewer on the left.
Face-off win by the Penguins. They're able to clear it all the way down the ice. Less than a half a minute now remaining in the Kovalev minor penalty. Under 9 minutes to go here in the first period, Game 6. Eastern Conference quarterfinals. Penguins lead the series 3-2. They lead this Game 6 1-0 is Purcell now. Hands it off, quick shot here at the side of the net. Fleury is down, but the Penguins get to it first, and it's cleared all the way back into the Tampa Bay zone.
No real clean looks. Even the Brewer shot kind of right in the belly, no traffic there. And that one there along the ice. So, nothing real dangerous on Marc-Andre Fleury just yet on that power play that just ended.
Kovalev steps out of the box, and the Tampa Bay power play 0 for 1 here. As Kubina back to play it. Now Hedman picks it up. Victor Hedman backhands it. Dominic Moore has a man up on the far side. That's Downey. Downey tried to go back to him. Knocked away by Lovejoy. And Alex Kovalev wearing number 72. It's across the line. Works it into the Tampa Bay zone. Brett Clark gets there first. Now Hedman. Regrouping, both teams making changes now as Hedman plays it ahead. Thompson, nice little chip past St. Louis. Backhand trying to go high short side. Fleury the save that he has run into as the puck we could see from here never crossed the line. But what a collision with Marc-Andre Fleury. This is why you talk about goaltenders being strong on their skates and strong in the net. Look at it from the goal cam coming right at you. It remains 1-0 Pittsburgh.
Ready for pizza and the game. Woo! Let's do this.
What's with the milk?
DiGiorno comes with Toll House cookies now. We got milk! Awesome.
New DiGiorno pizza and Nestle Toll House cookies. It's not delivery, it's DiGiorno pizza and cookies.
Join the party. La vie, Grand Marnier. Drink responsibly.
So what's the snapshot discount?
It's pretty revolutionary. Patented, actually. It takes a snapshot of your good driving habits so you can save money.
This, like a snapshot.
That's what I'm talking about. You're in a sports car. Show it to me. Yes. I want to believe it. Fierce. Love it. I think we have it.
The Snapshot Discount. New, huge, and only from Progressive.
Hi, I'm Montel Williams from Money Mutual, your trusted source to over 60 lenders that can get you up to $1,000 in your checking account by tomorrow. These are tough times, and if you're facing an unexpected car repair bill, a medical emergency, or you just need extra cash to hold you over until payday, then you need to know about Money Mutual, an easy way to get short-term cash fast. So forget about bounced checks, overdraft charges, and late fees. Need cash tomorrow? Call 1-800-585-CASH today.
Thanks with Dan Bilesman, the head coach of the Pittsburgh Penguins, and you get a break on one side. How much does that mean to your club to get that early lead?
Well, I think it's been big in this series so far, but I think just to get in this game, the road game, after that last game, to get that lead, to get that first goal is big for us, and that penalty kill was big for us as well.
For Marc-Andre Fleury to make that save late, does that really lift up your bench early on in the game?
We know how good he can be in there, and to make a couple big saves right now and strong in that crease, we know they're crashing. That's big for us.
Thanks, Dan.
Thank you.
This is the 7th playoff series that Dan Bilesman has been behind the bench as the head coach of the Penguins. They've won 5, which ties him with Scotty Bowman for the most series wins as a coach in Pittsburgh franchise history. Pretty good company there. As he took over for Michel Therrien back in February of 2009 and led the team that spring to the Stanley Cup championship over the Detroit Red Wings. Second time those two teams met in the Stanley Cup finals. Now the Cavalier sends it near side to Gagne. Wanted to get it to the front, but it's taken back by Brooks Orpik. He hands it off now for Adams. And now it is swept by Rupp in deep where Rolison settles it down. Andre Bergeron. Plays it ahead now for Hall. And for Bergeron, who will go back and take his spot out at the blue line as it's played around on the near side by the Penguins. Talbot, boy, he just avoided Downey. Plays it ahead, big collision coming there as Bergeron steps into Connor. Thompson again for the Lightning, plays it far side. Hall is there. Lightning come out, two Penguins are back, 2-on-2. Now Martin played it up the boards. Thompson gets there, goal for the Lightning. Gets a shot away, knocked down in front by Downey, but right into the equipment of Marc-Andre Fleury, and then Downey drops Dominic McCulloch, who looks up at the referee like, what's that all about?
Well, Dan Boylesman talking an awful lot about getting to the net, but here's a play by Vinny Lecavalier. He's got Simon Gagne on his left, which is to the right of the goaltender, and immediately following that situation there, the bench really talking, communicating, said, put the puck on the net. It's a 2-on-2, but you've got a man driving hard, so even if you put it on the net to the far pad, something juicy might occur. Instead, puck goes over to the corner, there's no offensive chance whatsoever.
Yeah, it's one thing to say drive the net, help players to go there, but if the puck doesn't get there,
you're exactly right.
That's what the coaches have been talking about on both sides of the series.
Listen, every team that we have dealt with in the playoffs, every coach said the same thing. Starting from Mike Babcock in Game 1 against the Phoenix Coyotes, putting pucks to the blue paint from everywhere.
Big hit by Jordan Staal. We got an injured Tampa Bay player. That is Malone, I believe, that is very slow to get up.
That's Matty Olin.
Or is it Olin, number 5?
Yeah.
Thanks, Banger.
And they did get a change. They did get a change there.
Now it comes back into the high slot, but it's chipped away. And there's Malone handing it off. St. Louis tried to send it across. I think they have another penalty here against Pittsburgh. Yes, an interference call coming against the Penguins is going to put Tampa Bay on the power play. And there's the big hit by Staal on Olin, but Staal and the Penguins shorthanded when we come back.
Tate, I am Domino's Chicken.
Tate's got a lot of pressure on him. We have this box made to find out what people think about the new recipe.
You see this? This is made with 100% white breast meat. It's not a bunch of different chicken bits all mashed together.
Imagine if your boss had the entire country rate your performance on a box of chicken.
I want to hear from people. That's the way we run this company.
So try Tate's new chicken with a medium 2-topping Domino's pizza. Choose any 2 for $5.99 each and tell us how he did.
I'm not excited about the box at all.
Losing weight clicked for me when I realized that Weight Watchers Online was for guys too. I'm like, it's not rainbows and lollipops.
After I read this beer cheat sheet, I knew what the difference was between a light beer and a dark beer as far as points go.
I use the grilling cheat sheet. Drag it over onto the grill and it gives you a point value. This is a plan for men.
I lost 109 pounds.
Oh man, you're on Weight Watchers Online. That's funny. And I go, really? I look a lot better than you right now.
Hurry, join for free today. Weight Watchers Online for men. Finally, losing weight clicks.
Andrews gets back in, and we move to the top of the 8th, tied 3-3.
Who cares if you never write a bestseller? And so what if you don't become the next .com gazillionaire? Or get a multi-year deal to play in the big leagues? It doesn't matter. Because you know how it feels to own a car that looks like $1 million. Turtle Wax Ice. Do yourself proud.
Second power play of the game for the Tampa Bay Lightning. Chris Letang goes to the box for interference in the neutral zone, trying to slow down the speed of the Tampa Bay Lightning. And you see Letang come across right at center ice and eliminates Malone. We'll keep our eye on Matty Olin right here, and if you keep a look at the lower body, the right knee kind of collapses underneath him. Real awkward position for the big 230-pounder, but he is back on the bench.
Now the Tampa Bay Lightning going man up for this Miller Lite power play. Second power play of this game 6 in a centering pass. Lecavalier got off a quick shot, but it was deflected wide of Marc-Andre Fleury. Ooh, for Stamkos, top of the circle, wrist shot. Boy, does he try to go high from just about any place in that offensive zone.
But what a setup. You know, originally, the coaching staff had a chance to go over it with the Tampa Bay Lightning before they dropped the puck. Face-off won by Lecavalier. Brewer goes one way but reverses the flow. Back down low, McCulloch collapses, and that allows the high man, Vinny Lecavalier, to get the shot, but it was blocked, never got on net.
Lightning have dominated in the face-off circle in the early going here, but this one is kicked back and controlled by the Penguins. Orpik plays it up the board. Brewer able to hold it in. Goes back along the boards now for Gagne. Battling there McCulloch, and the Penguins penalty killing unit able to send it down the ice.
There's a good keep-in by Brewer. He's been playing the right side since being acquired from the St. Louis Blues. He's the captain of the Blues, had an outstanding season. But a couple of years ago, he played with Bryce Salvador in St. Louis on the right side, so he is familiar with that area, even though he's a left shot.
Cavalier unable to control this puck as it's sent back into the Lightning zone. Eric Brewer has it there with just over 4.5 remaining here in the first period. Pascal Dupuis, first goal of the series, first point of the series, and his 10th career playoff goal. As the Penguins up 1-0 now as LeCavalier takes it from Stamkos. Wanted to go back to the line. Taken back by LeCavalier. What a takeaway from Talbot. It looked like he was going to be able to clear that. Now Stamkos winds up, shovels it down low, centering pass here, shot blocked in front of Fleury.
What a setup that was again. But give Pittsburgh plenty of credit. The reason why they're the top penalty kill unit in the National Hockey League, paying the price in front.
Here is Gagne. A little better than half a minute remaining on this Tampa Bay power play opportunity. St. Louis wheels around on the backhand. Ammo Kavina now to Bergeron. He missed him. And the Penguins able to clear. Here's Dupuis across the center ice line. He looked to force the issue a bit, but Kavina able to ride him off the puck. And back comes Bergeron now, number 47. Drops it off to Kavina. Final dozen seconds on this power play. Here's Kavina gets through with a low shot that is deflected just wide. Now Purcell pulling it away from McCulloch. Down low it goes to Downey. Tries to hand it off. Bouncing puck comes to Kavina again. Centering pass. Loose puck picked up. Oh, going to stop another chance. Score! Purcell.
Purcell's had a breakout year in the National Hockey League. And Purcell ends up coming back. He makes the pass down low to Downey. Then with the play up high, Malone does an excellent job of kicking it out to Kavina. The first one, it looked like it was a dead play for Tampa Bay, but it squirted back out. Kavina's looking, and Letang's coming out of the box and nearly catches Kavina. The rebound's there. McCulloch down, and from our Domino's Pizza goal cam, it's going to the right of your screen. Not the first one, but there it is right there. The second one, just beyond the reach of Fleury.
First career playoff goal for Teddy Purcell. You mentioned breakout year for him. And for the first time in this series, we have a 1-1 score here. From the Lightning again as Bergenheim fires it just wide. Back the other way now, Letestu for the Penguins, sends it in deep. And to the far side, Bergenheim has it again. He'll chip it ahead now. Here comes the Lightning into the zone as Dominic Moore tries to set up Stamkos. Turned back by Martin. For Kovalev. Kovalev rink wide. Kunitz with a chance here that hit the skate of Olin, so he's back out there. Good to see that for the Tampa Bay Lightning. After that hit he took from Jordan Staal. Now Niskanen buying some time as he dumps it in behind Rolison on the far side. Niskanen, who came to Pittsburgh, part of that James Neal deal that sent Goligoski to the Dallas Stars. And an icing call here against Pittsburgh.
Well, this place is jumping here. Sold out. Great crowd here in Tampa Bay. Great festivities outside the building.
And of course, coming up on the Pizza Hut Intermission Report, Bill Patrick, Keith Jones, Jeremy Roenick. Look ahead to Buffalo, Philly for Game 7, and Rosie and JR's take on the first period here in Tampa. Tanger, I know you're heading up there for that Game 7 as well. Philadelphia should be a great atmosphere at Wells Fargo. As it comes out now, Kavina hammers the puck just wide of Fleury. Now Bergeron with it, chips it back in deep. St. Louis for Stamkos. St. Louis, Stamkos, and LeCavalier. Here's Kavina on the angle. That was blocked in front by Lovejoy, and back come the Penguins the other way as Adams will get it deep. St. Louis back to get it. Hands it off to Pavel Kavina.
Oh, big hit by Kavina there on Rupp. Boy, was Rupp a good player in Game 5. Even in the lopsided win, he was hard on the puck all night long, real physical.
Now Purcell hands it off. Out to the line. Brewer with a drive. Save made by Fleury. He had to get around a couple of bodies to see that puck.
Well, we heard Dan Biles say that. They know that Tampa's going to be crashing that net at all times, and they have been.
Now the Penguins, they talked about spending some time in the offensive zone. They haven't done much of that here. Now it comes to Neal for a shot that was stopped, and quick whistle here. I think the referee just lost sight of it after that initial save by Rolison, and now we get a little nastiness after the whistle.
Yeah, giving maybe the veteran Rolison respect there, thinking it was in his midsection, clearly loose. But that's the job of the referee. When he thinks that it's covered up and doesn't have the puck, he blows it down. For Rolison, that's really his first opportunity against him since the goal against. Not a lot of pressure, as you mentioned, on him. There's the puck. It is loose. The referee's in the back. He blows it down. And Jordan Staal goes down, the big body. And as I mentioned before, Jordan Staal, they told me before the game about he and Matt Cook and just the chemistry that they had. James Neal obviously on the left now. Kennedy has been exceptional. Jeremy Roenick was talking about Tyler Kennedy in the pregame show. He's right on the mark. Kennedy's been a big player.
Brian Malone and Steve Downey got the assist, incidentally, on the Purcell goal. That was an even strength 8 seconds after the power play had expired. This puck is kept in by the Penguins. Sent down low for Jordan Staal. Off of his stick, picked up by Kennedy. Kennedy stumbles as he tried to get a shot away, and we get a whistle as the net is off behind Dwayne Rolison. Well, after a horrific crash, Will Power returned last year to take Brazil. This year, Brazil's best are ready to take it back from the scenic streets of Sao Paulo. It's the Sao Paulo Indy 300. The IZOD IndyCar Series continues Sunday, only on Versus. Dave Strader in the booth. Darren Pang, our man at ice level inside the glass. The rest of our Versus crew here in Tampa.
And one thing, the forwards of the Tampa Bay Lightning, you always have to be aware. Guy Boucher, you are juggled because there are only 11 forwards. And on the bench to my right, Guy Boucher is getting the attention of Vincent Lecavalier. Out there right now, even though Bergenheim and Dominic Moore are on the ice, and Moore's a natural centerman.
Bergenheim gets the shot away, easily handled by Fleury. Will hold it there. And we're getting a lot more stuff after whistles as this first period moves along.
It's game 6.
Yep. Yeah, it is.
I mean, it's a do-or-die elimination game for the Tampa Bay Lightning. It is not for the Pittsburgh Penguins, but they're an experienced group. They've had success finishing series off on the road. Haven't had that success on home ice.
I love their conversation, our time with Guy Boucher this morning. He's read so many books, biographies on great leaders throughout history. He's got several different majors and degrees, and his favorite is history. He talked about keeping his team in the moment, in the present. Can't worry about what happened in the past, and don't think about what might happen in the future. There's a shot by Talbot that trickles in toward Rolison. He started to play it. Now he has to. And he covers up his...
And see what Talbot did? He gets in there, and he's poking away, but wisely he just gets out right away. Kind of gets in, and then stuff's going to come out, and he gets himself out, looks around. We got to poke away at any loose puck, and Stamkos having an extended conversation there with James Neal coming off the ice, but this puck is loose. It's a tough one there. See, the first one Rolison couldn't commit to. It's still on the stick of the Pittsburgh Penguin forward, right there on Kennedy, and Kennedy plays it to his backhand, gets a pretty decent chance right there. Rolison shuts it down, getting the 5-hole closed down in a hurry on the butterfly.
Yeah, you can see a little movement there by Rolison when he first thought I might be able to get to it, and then quickly pulled back into his stance. McCulloch now through traffic. And Zbigniew McCulloch, who was showing Darren Pang his stick this morning as he was working on it down outside the locker room.
Yeah, he actually liked blade.
Yeah.
He's been cutting off the end of his blade. I always liked his pattern going back to the Phoenix days when I was asking about it, but he wanted that shorter blade, maybe a little bit more control.
And that's going to do it for this first period. Dupree got things started in the scoring here in Game 6, but after a power play failed, it was Purcell that got on the board for the Tampa Bay Lightning. And the first period of Game 6 is in the books, tied at 1 apiece. Stay with us, a lot coming your way on the Pizza Hut Intermission Report right after this. Ready to start this second period. Took care of a little bad spot on the ice there, and Stamkos, St. Louis and Malone against the Staal Neal and Kennedy line.
Don't forget about Michael Ryder, the ball hockey extraordinaire goaltender from Newfoundland.
Yeah, the save he made the other night.
I'm going to go to his goalie school.
Neal, I think it's too late. Maybe for ball hockey, though.
I'll stick to being a forward.
Yikes. Cleared by St. Louis. Malone over in front of the Pittsburgh bench. There's Malone last went to the playoffs as a member of the Penguins back in 2008, and that team went to the finals and lost that year. And we get a whistle away from the play as Olin and Neal came together, and it's going to be it's like a roughing call.
Well, Dan Bielema had an extended conversation with the referees. I think the one penalty that he wasn't happy about right off the hop was the Kovalev minor. Here's a stand-up play there by Olin. And you see Neal dumps it in. You've taken away the gap. I didn't see anything. Oh, yeah, the second part of it, I guess his right hand came up and just nibbled on the chin of Neal. But the original hit didn't have anything to do with that. He just stood him up and eliminated his man.
Looked fine. So power play for Pittsburgh, their first, as we mentioned at the very top of the show, as this puck comes outside the line and is offside. 1 for 25. I mean, that's hard to believe. Penguins struggled most of the season. They were 25th, better than only 5 other teams in terms of power play efficiency during the course of the regular season. But 1 for 25.
Well, I'm going to tell you that's 4% efficiency rating.
Yep.
Strader?
Well, they struggled worse on home ice. They were 0 for 20 in the 3 games that have been played there so far. They're 1 for 5 in the 2 games that have been played here. So they haven't had very many opportunities. Tampa Bay has done a good job on the home ice of staying out of the box. Kovalev now works it to James Neal, and Neal scored his first career playoff goal, and it was a huge win in this series, the overtime winner. Game 4 is this shot is steered aside.
And you can be sure that Dwayne Rollison is fully aware when number 18 has the puck on his stick. Although he hasn't been a consistent scorer, when it is on his stick, he can make something happen. He's got a quick shot, quick release.
Hedman tried to clear this puck, and he got it high enough that Letang could not keep it in.
Good play by Tampa Bay, and then a good line change as well. How about Kovalev, his ability to enter the zone, still at his age. They like to drop it back as Letang did right there for Letestu. Same thing Detroit does a lot with Pavel Datsyuk.
Yep.
And it's guys like that that have that ability to get in there, make one move, get into the zone, stop, and then set up shop.
Clark takes a hit as he clears the puck around on the near side. Dominic Moore there for the Lightning, but so is Letestu for the Penguins. Puts it to the corner, now it comes back. And Moore with a little bit of room to skate with it. We'll flip it ahead now. Both Moore and Bergenheim will head to the Tampa bench to change up the penalty kill. Less than half a minute remaining in the Olin minor penalty. Letang had it knocked away, and it's pushed down the ice by Hall. And the Penguins making a couple of last-second changes here on this power play in the late stages. Martin tried to push it along, but now it'll be chased down by Neal, and he'll hook it out to center ice. Crowd responding to the penalty kill here now as Hedman turns it back the other way with a drive with a set wide of Fleury. A changeover by the bench there, and the Lightning had to be careful. Now here's Talbot within a 3-on-1 develop, drops it back for a shot. Here just by Rollison. Connor had a great opportunity. This Connor, who had one of the 2 goals in that lopsided loss in Pittsburgh for the Penguins.
Bad line change by Tampa right there. It's a long second period. The D not getting out there quick enough, leads to an odd man break going the other way.
Pushed ahead by Lovejoy. Dupuis on the far side. Connor got another chance away as he was challenged by Cabina.
That's because of the second effort right there by Connor. He didn't quit on the play. Those are dangerous plays for the goaltender because you think the play's dead and it stays alive because he was relentless.
There's Ron back the other way. Sends it to LeCavalier, who spins. Now LeCavalier tried to backhand it for the net. It ended up wide of Fleury. Broken stick down behind the Pittsburgh net as Talbot dumps it in wide of Rollison. Started to come out to play it. Talbot was in there. It's cleared by the Lightning to center ice, St. Louis. Rolls it across now for Gagne. As the side steps that broken stick, and a good clear here to the board by Adams, but it's taken back by St. Louis. Gets it up now from Ryan Malone. To the side of the net, Fleury was protecting the short side. Here was St. Louis, walks it up the board.
Pass.
Lundin with a shot through traffic, and Fleury able to cover up.
Well, he's got to make that save with his other goalie, McCulloch, right in front of him. But when we take a look at the line change, we stop it right here. You see what's going on, and Eric Brewer's trying to get off the ice. And you see what's happening right here. The puck ends up going beyond. Looks innocent enough, but one chip play, and then there's an odd man break. And boy, did Connor right here, and he's always going against the grain to the far side, stick side, and it just misses from our Domino's Pizza goal cam, the right side of your screen. What's that miss by? Half foot? Oh, a wide open opportunity. The goaltender's naturally going to slide to his left, and it's going to expose the opposite side. It's a smart play by Connor. He just missed the mark. And maybe Hedman got his stick in that in the way, and if that's the case, that is just outstanding work there by Hedman to get it.
And now Letang after a face-off win by the Penguins. In the Pittsburgh zone, will play it ahead. Neal deflects it in deep. Chip, but recovered by Stahl. Stamkos comes back and clears it ahead. Alone across the line with St. Louis. Big collision, puck comes free out between the 2 point men for the Lightning.
Well, Tampa Bay didn't like it because they didn't feel as if Orpik was playing the puck and it wasn't near Malone. Heck of a shoulder hit, though.
Yep. Stamkos will head to the bench to complete the line change. Bergenheim out here now with Downey and Moore. Well, the Lightning is Pittsburgh gets it deep. Bergeron gets a stick on it. Sabina give it a little shove there. Now Letestu put it out in front. Just standing on it was Kunitz. Bergenheim and Letestu battle. Bergeron slides it across.
Wow, that was a dangerous play. Usually you go behind the net in that kind of play to make sure it's safe.
Especially with 72 Kovalev in the vicinity. Now Downey hands it off Bergenheim. Pressured by Kunitz. Brings it in deep. When players come together, Lovejoy was looking for a penalty call, but nothing coming. Now Downey rolls it back in deep. Bergenheim. Letestu diving in to try to get a piece of that puck, but Bergenheim still controls. He wheels it back to the side of the net. Now out in front, a chance here, score! Bergenheim's going to get this goal for Tampa Bay, and for the first time in Game 6, they have the lead.
First rounder, the New York Islanders, signed as an unrestricted free agent. Bergenheim, he pays a price to make plays. He's a hard-working hockey player behind the net, battling Letestu. 2 number 10s going at it, and it goes behind the net. Watch this play by Moore, reversing it a la Glenn Anderson of the Edmonton Oilers days. And everyone's looking the other way. You see the way battle gets one behind. Now watch Fleury go one side, paddle down, wide open on the other side. What an extraordinary play here by Moore. And Bergenheim finishes it off.
Well, with all the high-end talent that the Lightning have, they get a goal from the Bergenheim, Moore, and Downey line to grab the lead, and right back now comes Dupuis sending it in on Rollis, and he will cover it up there.
Now, close call at the other end, too, on that odd man break that Hedman ends up stopping with his stick. And, you know, the turn of events in a game of such magnitude, and you see the play by Connor before. I thought he missed the net. Further review, it hits off the shaft of the stick of 77 to Hedman.
Yeah.
Otherwise, that thing is absolutely labeled. But instead of it being a 2-1 lead for Pittsburgh, it's a 2-1 lead for the Tampa Bay Lightning.
Sticks in passing lanes, sticks in shooting lanes. That's something else you hear coaches preach about. Face-off win, Penguins. Martin slides it across. McCulloch with a shot that skips in wide. Now recovered by Asham. Sends it back on the far side. Anderson is there. Back for Hedman. And so much has been made, and rightfully so, about the Washington Capitals changing their game, but certainly no team had to change more and adapt than the Pittsburgh Penguins, losing their 2 superstar players mid-season. Malkin and Crosby. Oh, look at Panger with a glove save there. Not quite as quick as Michael Ryder. Little souvenir there. Always the goaltender. Now he'll throw that up into the crowd for a souvenir. Bergenheim celebrates the go-ahead goal for the Lightning here in Game 6.
Dillo. I am the Domino's chicken.
We have this box made to find out what people think about the new chicken.
I hope they're honest. I hope they give me the real feedback.
So order a medium 2-topping pizza with Tate's new chicken. Choose any 2 for $5.99 each and tell us how he did.
When you're responsible for this much of the team, you need a car you can count on.
Speed training. It's how Advanced Auto Parts trains our staff to get you the right part even faster. Not bad. The parts you need even faster. Advanced Auto Parts. Service is our best part. Next!
Join the party. La vie, Grand Marnier. Drink responsibly.
Finnish-born Sean Bergenheim with a go-ahead goal as we go inside the glass, presented by Reebok ZigTech with Darren Pang.
Between periods, I had a chance to talk to assistant coach Todd Reardon of the Pittsburgh Penguins, and he said instead of going D to D to D to D against this 1-3-1 neutral zone defensive scheme by Guy Boucher, especially in the second period, they want to change things up and have some quick ups and obviously stretch it blue line to blue line and see, because Guy Boucher likes those quick 30-second changes, if they can get Tampa Bay's defense off guard a little bit. We've already seen one odd man break. It was a different kind of situation, but it still was an odd man break with the Tampa Bay defenseman having a little bit of a loose change.
And we get a penalty, I think, right off of this face-off in the neutral zone. You don't often see these calls at center ice face-offs, but looks like Bergenheim, who scored the go-ahead goal, is the guilty party going to the box to give Pittsburgh their second power play opportunity of this period and this game.
Guy Boucher is unemotional watching this. He's keeping himself in good composure on the left side.
Oh, yeah.
Bergenheim actually gets inside position there, but you know what? Connor doesn't take that in the face, but he puts his glove up there enough to get the attention. It's up in the vicinity, but I didn't believe from my area that it ended up hitting him.
The power play brought to you by Craftsman. And a battle for this puck after the faceoff was won by the Penguins. Picked off by Thompson. Looks to break 2-on-1 with Hall. This play is onside. Thompson has it to the front of the net. Steered off the right pad of Fleury and recovered by Letang. Gordon Stahl takes it wide for the Penguins. Puts it into the feet of Rolison. Up the near side now, it's Letang holding it in. He'll walk the blue line. Takes the shot, goes to Kovalev. Alexei Kovalev, first year in the playoffs, 94, when he won a cup with the Rangers. A shot here, knocked down in front. Sent wide as Kovalev got tied up there with Matthias Olin. Now James Neal trying to pull his way in, but it's Hall who gets it back and bounces it over the stick of McCulloch and back into the Penguin zone.
Stahl going back in a little regroup, a little whack on the heels of Hall. I love being back here. Great intensity, all kinds of stuff. It's game 6. As long as you don't get caught, huh, Straits?
Yep. As long as you keep catching pucks that come your way. Battled away by Moore all the way down the ice. Less than a minute remaining on the Bergenheim high sticking penalty.
The frustration there from Bennett McCulloch is that, you know, the first one that when bounced over his stick, it was that second hop. Otherwise, he's, you know, easily able to keep it in the zone, and they've got pressure still going. But
Kovalev showing some of that ability to stick handle, enter the zone. Letang right point. Moves it along now. Here's Kennedy with it. Kennedy hands it off down low. Kovalev with it. Sending it back to Letang, right wide. Martin back to Letang. Less than half a minute on the power play. Shot was blocked up high by Nate Thompson. Now it comes back to Kovalev again. Hands it off in the corner. Kennedy fakes the centering pass. Brings it around in front of the net. Still holds. Lets it go here. A pad save by Rolison.
I could say with Kunitz right in front on the screen right there. He got it with his right pad.
Now Letang again. Doubles it along for Kovalev. seconds of the power play. Letang straight away. Hands it off Kovalev, top of the circle. Tried to let it go. Picked up Letang, and that hit a stick, I believe, before it got to Rolison. And now it's hammered by Hall all the way down the edge. This will be icing because Bergenheim was well out of the box. And so the Lightning will not be able to make a change.
Kovalev had a couple of chances to fire it. And if I'm a goaltender facing Kovalev, I mean, I like him passing the puck. But Kovalev has that ability to roll the puck off his blade, and it can really disguise his shot. Letang's shot stopped by Nate Thompson. Thompson's terrific on the penalty kill for the Tampa Bay Lightning, number 44. And there's Kovalev. No, doesn't shoot it. And it's a broken down play that nearly ends up being a good one for the Pittsburgh Penguins. Rolison doesn't see where it's at.
Took a little while for the Tampa bench to get the attention of the officials that they wanted the timeout, but Guy Boucher finally able to get it. Following our game tonight, check in with Hockey Central presented by Bud Light. And then after that, at 10 p.m., the Sharks look to close out the Kings with a win in Game 6. And tomorrow, the Flyers and Sabres square up in a Game 7 at 7:30 Eastern, followed by Chicago and Vancouver in another Game 7 at 10 Eastern. And what a story, that Chicago-Vancouver series. Roberto Luongo seemingly ridding himself of the demons of the Blackhawks in the first 3 games of that series, but it's all come back now. He did not even get the start in Game 6. Had to be brought in when his backup Snyder got injured on a penalty shot, gave up the winning goal in overtime.
That's drama.
Oh, that is going to be something in Vancouver. Talk about pressure.
And a city that's as intense about their hockey as you will find anywhere. I had an injury that was very similar. With Schneider, they're saying that it's not an injury and that he's available. I had a similar situation. I yanked a hamstring on a play like that.
Lead pass here. Connor on a breakaway, and he never got the shot off. Let's see here.
Penalty
shot, absolutely. Chris Connor taken down from behind, and he is going to have a penalty shot.
And again, the quick up by the Pittsburgh Penguins and the quick feet by Connor. That's twice in this period that Connor, if we stop it here, you see what's going to happen here. There we go with Connor, and there he goes. And you see the defenseman Kabina coming back on the ice, and there's the pull down right there. He doesn't get pucked first. If he gets pucked first here, then it's fair game. This is the right call. He's in all alone, and he catches the feet first.
Just the second penalty shot we've had in these playoffs. Of course, the other one occurred last night. But it is the 6th in playoff history for the Pittsburgh Penguins. Evgeny Malkin had the last one in 2008. Michael Frolik scored against Corey Schneider, and the play that we just mentioned was Schneider got injured and was replaced by Luongo. So here's Connor against Rolison to tie the game, and he mishandles the puck.
That's incredible. That is unbelievable. You feel bad for Connor. Situation like that in a penalty shot, he's going so fast, the puck hops over, and he goes forward. Play's essentially dead. Right here, forehand. Oh, boy. Tries to play it back to the forehand, and it's a dead play right there anyway. Easy save by Rolison. But the puck slides backwards. The play doesn't advance forward. Puck was slightly moving forward. The referee waited till the shot was on net. You don't see that very often. No. In a big moment like this, a big stage. Tough break there for Connor. Big break for Rolison and the Tampa Bay Lightning.
Brewer upset with himself that he missed that pass, and it's going to result in an icing. And, you know, one of the things coaches have to do is understand when to console an athlete. And look at this moments ago, Dan Bylsma comes over and tells Chris Connor.
That's good coaching right there.
Yep.
You know what? These are people. This is a situation that you know, maybe in the future, maybe you don't stick handle as much, but let's say these guys practice every single day. You know, he's a nifty player. He's got quick hands, and there's lots of hockey left to be played here.
Now LeCavalier had it poked away by Stahl. Played ahead by Kennedy. Oh boy! Ola got the stick caught up there.
Got caught for the penalty too. Yep. The back referee made the call from the neutral zone.
3 straight power plays now for the Penguins here in the second period, of the second time that Guy Boucher has watched Matthias Olin.
3 straight and a penalty shot.
Yeah.
And Sullivan gets caught with his stick right up in the right hand, right in the elbow, right in the side there of Neal.
Pittsburgh power play brought to you by Craftsman. Letestu, Kennedy and Kunitz up front for Dan Bilesma with McCulloch and Letang back at the points.
Kunitz goes right to the front of the net.
Here was Kennedy. Waits, lets it go. Rollinson save. It's loose down the ice, but he quickly covers it up.
Good battle by the big 6'4" Eric Brewer. Former first rounder, 5th overall to the New York Islanders. And he gets good position here on Kunitz. Right off the faceoff, Kunitz goes right to the front of the net. Keep your eye on number 2. Now he gets to the inside. Gives him a little shove. Kind of shoved him on the top of the head first. Forced that visor to go down on the face of Kunitz. Then he gives him another little push. Brock Vukovic, prospect for the Tampa Bay Lightning, a 3rd-round draft pick. The son of Jeff was one of the players that went over to the St. Louis Blues in that deal for a 3rd-rounder, and Brock Vukovic.
Here is Kennedy now with a shot that's blocked by Hedman. And Victor Hedman able to send it all the way down the ice. Minute and a half remaining in the Olin minor penalty. Past the halfway mark of the 2nd period. Again, Hedman able to send it all the way down the ice. Pittsburgh power play is 1 for 27 in this series, and they've missed a penalty shot here tonight. Kovalev on the far side, but Clark steps in front of him. It's backhanded by Hedman, and now through center ice.
That was an uncertain entry into the zone. Through the neutral zone, McCulloch has it. He looked like he was supposed to drop it off to Kovalev. It missed the mark there, and because of that uncertainty, they weren't able to get in cleanly in the offensive zone.
Now Letang gets it into the zone, but runs into Clark. Nice little centering feed for Moore. Ahead for Bergenheim, who has the goal. That's the difference so far here in this game 6. Drop pass for Moore, trying to get it back through. He does, and Bergenheim just couldn't handle it. They're trying to hammer a shot from the angle. It's blocked by James Neal.
2 guys banged up on the same play. Clark, number 7 for Tampa Bay, and Chris Letang going slowly to the bench.
Here comes Kovalev now. Jumps it up first. Shot saved by Rollinson. Excellent stop there on Jordan Staal.
Staal got a lot on that.
He did. Kovalev in deep. Kabina able to muscle it away from Staal. Bounces it around. Good keep in by Martin. Now Niskanen for Neal. Wanted to set it up for Kovalev. Intercepted, and back the other way comes Thompson. The Lightning do have a shorthanded goal in this series, albeit into an open net. Back in game 2 in Pittsburgh, a 5-1 Tampa Bay win. Lightning with a couple of lopsided wins in this series, and Pittsburgh with a couple of 1-goal victories plus a 3-0 shutout victory in game 1. And Lovejoy now tries to get it to the front of the net. Thompson battling there.
Thompson wins a lot of bat.
He does. You know, he's been impressive down the stretch for the Lightning and into these playoffs.
Oh, he's going to go for a line change there, and Stamkos jumped on quickly. Stamkos quickly went back to it, and now good communication at the bench. Stamkos goes on, and Thompson goes off.
Edmund drops it back. Lundin is in trouble here. Good block there. St. Louis recognizing that he had to get low to block that pass. Now Stamkos for St. Louis. Stamkos goes to the front of the net. St. Louis tries to get the puck there. Knocked away by Fleury. Cleared by Dupuis. Held in for a shot here by Kabina that goes wide. Now taken by Bergeron. Sends it high off the glass. Knocked down by Stamkos. He puts it right out in front. Drop back for a Kabina shot that was blocked by Dupuis.
Yeah, it was rolling too. He never got anything on that. Fluttered.
Ryan Malone tried to draw a penalty on the goaltender Fleury, and there was some contact there. 7 minutes remaining in the second. It is 2-1 Lightning.
Egg, whites, bacon, cheese, spinach, 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 tomato, turkey,
jalapeno,
banana peppers, black forest ham. Served on toasty flatbread by request.
With sweet onion sauce drizzled across.
Wake up to the fresh taste of Subway breakfast with the Sunrise Subway Melt on tasty flatbread. Make it your own with all your favorite ingredients like fresh spinach, yummy tomatoes, or one of our zesterific sauces. Build your better breakfast only at Subway.
Hi, I'm Monta Williams from Money Mutual, your trusted source to over 60 lenders that can get you up to $1,000 in your checking account by tomorrow. These are tough times, and if you're facing an unexpected car repair bill, a medical emergency, or you just need extra cash to hold you over until payday, then you need to know about Money Mutual, an easy way to get short-term cash fast. So forget about bounced checks, overdraft charges, and late fees.
Need cash tomorrow? Call 1-800-585-CASH today.
Professionals need to perform under pressure. And pressure can cause anyone's deodorant to fail. Introducing Gillette Odor Shield Antiperspirant. Unlike regular deodorants, it targets and neutralizes odor at the source. Help eliminate odor. Don't just cover it up. Gillette Odor Shield Antiperspirant. Also try Odor Shield technology in new body wash.
Guy, you put a lot of pressure on Marc-Andre Fleury in that first period. What can you do to change it up and get some sustained pressure in the second?
Stay out of the penalty box. That'll change something. The penalties that happened there, most of them are because we created turnovers at their blue line, which we weren't doing in the first period. So turnovers will kill you. Right now we got away with it, so we got to change those turnovers and put it behind them.
Thanks, Guy.
Thank you.
Well, Guy Boucher was calm in his conversation with Darren Pang, but as soon as Panger walked away, Guy Boucher turned around and was screaming at the bench. You can read his lips. Pucks to the net. Again, pucks to the net. They have not been able to do it, as he mentioned, largely because they've been in the box here for 6 minutes of this.
Love the fact, though, Straight, that he didn't put the onus on the referees. He put it on his players.
On his players, absolutely, yeah.
Direct result of turnovers. He gets his point across on a day-to-day basis very clearly.
Perso with a shot to the net. Fleury made a save. Now a centering attack by Gagne. Backhanded here by Bergeron. Didn't get through, and Asham able to clear it for the Penguins. It won't go far enough for icing.
But let's face it, when you put pressure on the opposition, you end up getting your own breaks. If you fall back and you turn pucks over, you're on your heels. And good things don't happen then. We see right away after you said that about barking out orders on the bench, they are putting pucks in the net.
Yep.
And Clark is back on the ice. He was off for an extended period of time because a hit he took about 3 minutes ago.
Now Martin gains the line. Had it knocked away by Downey. Now Moore with a good hit. Downey, who has 2 assists in this game, second game in a row in this series, that he's going to have at least 2 helpers. Turn back the other way now. Here was Ruck taking it wide. Puts it right to the blue paint, steered aside by Rolison, and now Bergenheim for the Lightning takes a big hit from Jordan Staal as that puck rolls back into the Pittsburgh zone.
Wayne Rolison doing a good job of slapping out orders with a stick on the ice, letting his defenseman know that there's a man along the blue line, which is James Neal.
He hangs on to it here just over 5 minutes to go in the second.
Andrews gets back in, and we move to the top of the 8th, tied 3-3.
Who cares if you never write a bestseller? And so what if you don't become the next .com gazillionaire? Or get a multi-year deal to play in the big leagues? It doesn't matter. Because you know how it feels to own a car that looks like $1 million. Turtle Wax Ice. Do yourself proud.
The reasons for owning a Ram are everywhere. You just gotta listen. The new 2011 Ram Outdoorsman, our latest calling. Ram.
Get a no extra charge Hemi V8 plus 500 Ram Box bonus cash and 0% APR on select Ram 1500 crew cabs.
At Wendy's, we believe our new natural cut fries with sea salt just taste better. So we gave people a box to try and one to stand on.
They're really good.
I can just sit here and keep eating them.
In fact, in a national taste test, consumers say Wendy's new natural cut fries with sea salt taste better than McDonald's.
They took this and turned it into this.
There's actually skin on there.
We love these fries. They're really good.
Oh! So tell us who you think is naturally the best.
They're better than McDonald's French fries. They just are.
Well done, Wendy's. You guys nailed it.
Welcome back to the Stanley Cup Conference quarterfinals on Versus, presented by Discover. Game 6 of the Eastern Conference quarterfinals. And it all started Panger with a miscue by Dwayne Rolison. That made it 1-0. Purcell came back, and for the first time in this series, we had a 1-1 score. Then after the go-ahead goal by Bergenheim, that unfortunate bounce on some bad ice for Chris Connor as he attempted a penalty shot. And so the Tampa Bay Lightning have survived 3 Pittsburgh power plays here in the second, as well as that missed penalty shot.
Yeah, it's not the power play of the Tampa Bay Lightning in this story, it's the penalty kill.
Now with some speed. Neal sends it across on the far side. Tank tries to get it back to the front. It's deflected up high on the glass. Brewer takes his man to the boards. Swept up the far side off the stick of the Cavalier and out to center ice. Now Malone lifts it ahead.
This is where Pittsburgh wants to push that puck up the ice, hoping for a bad line change. But Eric Brewer stays on the ice. He sees it developing. He was looking over for Marc-Andre Bergeron, the defenseman, jumping over the boards. But he saw that Pittsburgh had control, and he gets back in his zone. Smart play.
Guy Boucher told us this morning, too. He said there's been times when we've had a little trouble with Pittsburgh's speed. Pollock sends it ahead. Talbot for Kovalev. Deflects in wide of Rolison. Hustling back now, Dominic Moore. A couple of players collide. Going to be a penalty here against the Penguins. It was Kunitz who got involved in a collision with Purcell. And the trailing referee was there and had a good look at it.
Dwayne Rolison, the 41-year-old, did a good job of getting over to the bench for the extra man. Minor penalty on Kunitz.
Dan Biles's team has seen several power play opportunities to tie this game, go by the board, a penalty shot opportunity, go by the boards, and now the Tampa Bay power play, which is 0 for 2 in this game, gets another opportunity here to perhaps extend the lead as the faceoff is controlled by the Lightning. Here is Brewer for the faceoff. Hash marks, and then it's deflected up on the netting and out of play, and the faceoff is going to stay deep in the Pittsburgh zone.
The one thing that Todd Reardon did talk about in between periods, Straight, was obviously on the PK. I think they would rather see Brewer fire the puck from an angle like that than have the puck end up on the dangerous guys. Obviously, Stamkos and St. Louis. Guy that's been a game breaker in games like this has been Simon Gagne, number 12. These games on the line, series are on the line. He comes up big, as he did for Philadelphia in Game 6 against Tampa Bay in 2004 to extend it to a 7.
Well, he has 10 goals in his playoff career in 17 games where his team has faced elimination. So you're right. He has done it throughout his career in the National Hockey League. Now Brewer hit hard by Orpik. Louis hands it off. A shot here just wide of Fleury.
Wide by a bunch, States.
Here's the Cavalier. He fakes. Hands it off. Stamkos a try. That was blocked by Adams, who was down on the ice right in front of him. Boy, does that take courage.
What a play by Adams. I mean, that's why these guys like Adams are so valuable to your team. When you break them down in their skating and little things, you go, where do they fit in? Well, he fits in because he does the little things.
And they're going to bring that face-off all the way back into the Tampa Bay zone. And let's take a look at what you're talking about in terms of the courage of blocking a shot.
Oh, here's a fake shot. See where Stamkos got the stick up in the air. He's waiting for it. That'll have Brett Hull right there. And Adams collapses down low. Not only does he block the shot there, 27. Good form, too. Smothers the 5-hole. We all know how hard Stamkos fires the puck. When it's right in the wheelhouse like that.
Yeah. I mean, Adams drops down on his knees, Tanger. I mean, facing Stamkos. Doesn't even put his hands up to shield his face. I'm just amazed at the courage.
And maybe he's seeing, too, where that puck is. You know, I'm not sure if he could read it that quickly, but if the puck's behind Stamkos a little bit, it's tough to get it up. Or maybe he's thinking there's no way he's going to shoot it high.
You're hoping.
It's awfully courageous. What happens when you pay the price to win games, and that's going to be the difference in a win or a loss.
Bergeron far side, Kabina. Good puck movement here. Downey tried to set up Purcell. That was well read by Letang, who got a stick on it. As we're down to 25 seconds remaining in the Kunitz penalty. And then Dupuis is knocked off the puck, but they're going to call this a penalty.
Oh, it's getting frustrating here on the ice. Frustrating for the players to identify what's a penalty and what's not a penalty.
Downey has just given it to Talbot. He feels that he embellished it. Oh, that is frustration right there.
The former Penguin Malone is all fired up. Guy Boucher maintains composure. Let's take a look here. Dupuis with the puck, and Malone just steps into him on the side. Malone steps in right here, and does he? Boy, oh boy. Looked like it hurt Malone there, and there's Malone just sour. He feels like he's leaning into the body. It's hard to tell now, you know, whether or not it's an explosion of the arm or the side going into a, let's say, a head or the shoulder or whatever, because a lot of times you take the hit and then afterwards everything spreads out just because of the blow.
Right. And they call it elbowing. You're right. You might make the hit with everything tucked in, but then as there's separation, your arm or your elbow comes out.
Yeah.
And when you see it in real speed, it's like, oh, he threw his elbow out there. But, you know, we get the benefit of slowing it down. The officials have to call what they see in real speed.
Yeah, you would hope with the calls, especially in this series. I mean, Kunitz, Kunitz served a one-game suspension.
Yes, he did.
For a blatant elbow.
Kunitz and Downey both have served one-game suspensions for hits in this series. Four skaters aside now. A power play starts for Pittsburgh. Their fourth, and Rolison comes out the field with his puck, and then a bit of a collision there, but quickly the officials get in there to separate it.
You go back to that hit by Ryan Malone, and Dupuis looking one way, cutting across, and because he's cutting that way, you see that Malone's coming in, and it's not Rule 48. No. Obviously, it's a close situation, but the way that Malone cuts in on him there, he's just trying to get a piece of him as Dupuis looking down with that juggling play. That's a dangerous area for a player. It has to be, too, for the responsibility of the player going in that dangerous area to know where it is. But because the puck was bouncing, Dupuis had to be looking down. Yeah. He's trying to corral the puck as well.
Yeah, I think that Malone did everything he could so he didn't elbow him. But again, the official has to make that call at such high speed. And it has the Penguins now on the power play, trailing 2-1 here in this Game 6 of the Eastern Conference quarterfinals. The Penguin win, and they go home, get a little bit of rest, and wait for their second-round opponent. Here's Letang, sends it far side. Good stick goal by Brewer. Broke up that pass.
Good to see Letang back, too. Boy, he took a pretty wicked collision in the corner with Park earlier in the period.
Bouncing puck just wide of Rolison. Lightning win extends this to a Game 7 on Wednesday night that we'll have for you here on Versus. Now a shot here is deflected up on the netting and out of play.
I'm sure that Eric Brewer will go to the bench and maybe, yes, he did. He just leaned on his stick. Two great shot blocks with the stick by Brewer. And the second one, it took it right in the shaft, so it weakens the point. And every player that blocks his shot with the shaft of his stick, they go to the bench immediately because you can ill afford to have a situation where you're trying to clear the puck and then it snaps on you. And so Brewer does the wise thing. Two great plays by Brewer with his stick in the lane.
Ball is tossed out of there. A little over a minute remaining in the Malone minor penalty. End up in the face-off circle. Floats out toward McCulloch. He has it now. Ooh. Letang.
Close, huh? Straight?
Yeah, you're allowed to put it on the blue line. That puck has to completely come out. Good job by Olin in this penalty-killing situation for the Lightning. Now Letang far side. McCulloch, Kovalev. Got a stick on the attempted return pass by Kovalev. Now he'll go diagonal for Letang. Puck on edge, but he sends it across for McCulloch.
Look at that thing hop.
Olin checked by Neal. Centering pass picked off. Lightning. Dominic Moore able to clear.
The players that have success passing the puck are the Kovalevs, the St. Louis, the guys that heel to toe it, keep it flat. Not the guys that fire it off the toe. It seems like anyway. Tough to keep it flat and on the ice landing that way. That pass by Letang just fluttering and a hard one for McCulloch to handle on the left point. And don't forget, McCulloch's a right-hand shot playing the left point, working on the one-timer. Those passes have to be right on the number.
Well, the faceoff just outside the Penguin zone. Less than a minute remaining here in the second period. Scored the first goal of this contest. Pascal Dupuis. Lightning has scored the last two. Up to Kunitz with a shot that was blocked in front. That was Thompson, I think, that went down and got that.
Yes, it was. Boy, he's been good.
Malone back out of the box.
Oh, Rolson doesn't have a stick.
No, he doesn't.
In the far corner. There. Look at Malone. Smart play by Malone. Yep. Smart play.
Slides it over to him. Looked like when Malone came out of the box, Panger, he had a chance at another hit, and he bypassed it.
It was Kennedy.
Yeah.
It was Tyler Kennedy, and you're right. And that would have been a blindside situation.
Yeah.
So there's awareness there by Malone.
Final 5 seconds of the period. Hedman tries to play it ahead. Comes out to the line. It's picked at, but the horn will sound before the Penguins can get a puck to the net. Bergenheim with the goal. That's the difference. Verizon Intermission Report. Bill Patrick, Keith Jones, Jeremy Roenick will look ahead to Boston and Montreal. Game 6 up at the Bell Center on Tuesday night. And Jonesy and JR will have their take on what we saw here in the second period at the St. Pete Times Forum. We've had a lot of this game. Power play opportunities, penalty shots that were missed. But the Tampa Bay Lightning, after 40 minutes, have a 2-1 lead, trying to extend this series to a Game 7.
For assistant coach Wayne Fleming, who is battling a brain tumor. Of course, Wayne Fleming is responsible for the great penalty kill on the Tampa Bay Lightning. During the game, he has been texting Dan Lacroix instructions on the PK. So even though he's not strong enough to be here for tonight's game, he was here for 3 and 4, still very much involved and in the hearts of so many hockey fans and obviously his colleagues around the world. Wayne Fleming is a great man, an experienced man, and obviously our thoughts and prayers are with him to survive this, battle it out.
Underwent a procedure back on April the 7th at the H. Lee Moffitt Cancer Center and Research Institute here in Tampa. And the team said at the time his level of participation would just depend on his level of comfort, what he was able to do. And great to see that he wants to be involved, that he is involved. And of course the Lightning still want his expertise. As McCulloch plays it off the far side as the Penguins come out with it. Stahl across the line. It's knocked away by St. Louis.
Stahl had a chance to move that forward. You know, he had Neal on the right side. Neal was ahead of him. Because he didn't, he almost bobbled that play up.
Got toward the net, didn't get all the way through. Now Orpik. Got it in deep, but the Lightning get it right back out.
You know, one guy that would want to cash in and tie this game up is Chris Bonner.
Yeah. After the missed opportunity that we'll talk about in just a moment. Now the Penguins trying to keep the first round. Talbot to the front of the net. And strip that got through to Rolison, but he was in position. Now Dupuis, who has the only goal for Pittsburgh here in this Game 6. Remember, a Lightning win forces a Game 7 on Wednesday night. Whereas here on Versus, you got Game 7, Philadelphia, Buffalo tomorrow, followed by Game 7, Vancouver, Chicago.
This is great stuff, isn't it? This is just so exceptional. Fans that waited a long time and support their teams to get in that first round and to have this kind of emotion and drama all the way around.
Los Angeles trying to force a Game 7 series. What's that?
When did Detroit win against Phoenix?
Yeah, you know, I was thinking about that last night. Was that in the same round? It doesn't seem like it.
Boy, the advantage, you know, winning early. I talked to Ken Holland today, and he did, you know, suggest that they might be rusty in the first game, but you sure take your chance on that to get the extra rest.
Especially with the likes of Zetterberg, who did not play in the first round sweep of the Coyotes, and Franzen, who missed a game because of an injury that he sustained in the series. I think they'll take the rest.
No question.
And they still can play, I think, as many as 4 different teams, depending on how these other series unfold. Look out here, a little miscommunication again with Rolison on the exchange behind the net. That's what led to the one and only Pittsburgh goal.
Pittsburgh coaching staff told me before the game that the harder rounds are where they want to go. That brings them out from the front of the net to behind the net and see if they can't cash in. They have already once in this game, and that was a close one there.
Now Dominic Moore slides it in deep. McCulloch is there for the Penguins. Drops it back down for Martin. Now it's deflected by Rupp in deep as the Penguins look to make a change. And I'm talking to Pat Verbeek, the former Detroit scout. Of course, former great player.
Yes, absolutely.
Now a scout for the Tampa Bay Lightning. He was talking about the fact that it's really tough on scouts with all these different possibilities. You got to go and look at everybody to give the big squad an idea of what the scouting report is on any potential second-round opponent. St. Louis stood up there by Letang. Now Orpik takes a hit from Stamkos, but moves it to Jordan Staal. And now the Penguins come out with it. Kennedy takes it wide on the angle. Tries to throw it out in front for a waiting Jordan Staal, but the Lightning did a good job of blocking that centering pass. Now here's Niskanen with it. Slides it through. Staal with a chance. He scores! Jordan Staal hits the spot on the stick side and beats Rollinson, and we have a 2-2 hockey game.
Terrific speed, though, by Kennedy. Instead of just dumping it in, he blows by the right side. And then you got to give a lot of credit to Niskanen as well. Niskanen ends up making a terrific play. Right here. A little backhander, and that's a quality scoring area there. Oh, this was feathered right inside the post on a little wrist shot there by Staal. A player that certainly had to pick things up for the Pittsburgh Penguins to advance. And he had just tied the game up with a buttery little wrist shot right there. Going against the grain, a tough one. The traffic's going towards Rollison's left. You take one peek for 1 second. But again, Kennedy's speed and not giving up the puck while he crossed the blue line for Pittsburgh.
No, it's great to have a guy like Dupuis score, but as we talked about, Tanger at the very top of the show. You don't have Malkin, you don't have Crosby, but you got guys like Staal, you got Letang, you got Fleury and goal, guys that have been there, know what it takes. You need those guys to contribute something. That is a huge goal there by Jordan Staal.
Again, Niskanen puts it right in the soft area of the ice, high slot, no coverage there for Tampa Bay. He had more than enough time.
Look out here. This play is onside for Talbot. Cutting in, save, rebound opportunity. Another one. Rollison, 2 terrific saves on rebounds after stopping the initial shot by Talbot.
Holy jumping, a little two-pad stack to his right.
Now Bergeron under pressure, able to get it to Downey, and the Lightning come out with it. He's Downey, flips it ahead. Has to step around Martin. McCulloch, he takes a hit. Gagne got a stick on it for the Lightning. Taken back now by LeCavalier toward the net. Here's Downey with a can. Oh, and a save by Fleury. Fleury score! He's got 2 assists for the second game in a row, does Steve Downey. Why not get a goal? And the Lightning with a huge response have regained the lead.
And it all starts with the save at one end. Save after goal against. That's the key here. Not 1, but 2 right there. With a beautiful two-pad slide to the right. And Downey doesn't give up on this play. I thought it was dead. I thought it was underneath the defenseman's event at McCulloch. He's lying down doing the snow angel, trying to cover it up, and he doesn't get it. The goaltender, Fleury, must think that it is there, and somehow it sneaks underneath him. Give Downey a lot of credit for staying with it.
Well, Steve Downey gets his first career playoff goal, as did Teddy Purcell earlier. Here is St. Louis with a centering pass, loose in the blue paint, the left hand of Fleury keeps it out, and then Fleury's run over by his own teammate.
And Stamkos being grabbed there. Full-out scrum going on now.
Well, something that I didn't see obviously led to a Pittsburgh player ending up on top of his own goaltender.
Well, a lot of coaches will tell you.
And it's still going on.
Yeah, it is. You know, but here, the referee now is communicating with everybody. And hopefully the referee doesn't just grab retaliatory plays, because there's a lot going on that they can't see. And just to see somebody just poke somebody isn't quite fair here. You got Kunitz, Hedman, you had Brewer. Obviously Stamkos is in the middle of the original one, and Ryan Malone is still down on the ice. Be interesting to see what calls get made out of all of this. Slash on the left arm there by Orpik. Orpik played 10 minutes of the first period. There's the
there's the push.
There's
okay.
The push. Well,
yeah, Malone
just drills Letestu into the goaltender.
And I think that was going to be the original call.
Yeah, I think that was the original call as well. And there's the goal that was scored by Downey underneath. He has 2 whacks at it right there. Downey going hard to the net. Gets inside on McCulloch, gets to the front of the net, stops, puts himself in a good spot. McCulloch gets away from him. McCulloch skates away from Downey instead of being between Downey and the goaltender. That allows Downey to be all alone. And he pulls it once, good save there. Rebound comes out there, he sticks with it and just slides it underneath.
First career 3-point game as you look at it from the Domino's Pizza goal cam. First career 3-point game for Steve Downey.
And you're going back to the scrum that takes place there. You know, so Malone originally jams Letestu into the goaltender, and here's Hedman and Kunitz right here. Hedman just got the long reach on him right there. Brewer had already gone towards one of the Pittsburgh Penguins players. And Malone is going to the box, you can see there. But there's 2 Tampa Bay Lightning in the box and only 1 Pittsburgh Penguin in the box out of all that.
Well, still nothing up on the board here.
Now, the original penalty would be on Malone for that right there, right into the goaltender. Potentially dangerous situation with Letestu hitting his goaltender, so that would be 1. And then after that, though, Stamkos is really mauled right there. So I thought that was kind of, those 2 would go off as an even up one. And Kunitz kind of kept hounding around. Really hard to determine exactly how that ends up being a power play on one side rather than an even up situation on both. But it's the original play by Malone that results in it. So Malone's penalties, the 1, and then everything else gets offset.
Yep, Hedman and Kunitz each sit out for their little scrum.
Yeah, I'm sure Tampa was looking at something, the original one, and the reason why Stamkos' helmet was knocked off. So thinking that maybe that would balance it out and even it up. Not to be.
But Cavalier and Gagne assisted on Downey's goal.
And I'm sure Wayne Fleming is at home texting right this one closely, that's for sure.
Niskanen and Kennedy on the stall goal at 3:48, and then just a minute and 7 seconds later, it was the response by Downey. We've had some fast back-to-back situations with goals in this series, sometimes by the same team, and other times a response like we just saw from Tampa Bay after the goal by Stahl. As this draw control by the Penguins. Long one-timer by McCulloch, and the rebound was jammed wide by Rupp. Rupp, Kennedy, and Letestu out here to start this power play for Dan Bilesma. As this squad trails.
What a play there by Brewer. Straits, to be able to do that on your backhand and get it over the stick and out of harm's way on your... on the offside, that takes a good ability. And besides, he doesn't have a big curve on his stick, Eric Brewer. And that's a key, too. You're able to get it on your backhand like that.
Well, he's an important guy. Led the Lightning in ice time in each of the first 3 games of this series. As Rupp with a shot that thumps off the pad of Rolison. McCulloch for Letang. Takes the shot. Back to McCulloch. Now Letang again. Hands it off with the hash marks for Letestu. The outstanding rookie sends it back to the line.
McCulloch has a chance on the weak side to move in there a little bit. He doesn't. He stayed right where he was.
Letestu wrist shot. Deflected wide by Brett Park, the defenseman for the Lightning. Now Letang with it. Letestu hands it off. Back straight away for Letang. He'll hammer this puck. Rolison save. Pokes it ahead. Far enough for Dominic Moore to get there, but the Lightning don't get it out.
That's a key point right there. He had a chance to get that out. Oh, he gets a second opportunity. Good save there by Rolison through traffic on the only real dangerous shot by Pittsburgh. He goes down in the butterfly, smothers it up. No holes there.
Now Kovalev for Stahl. Poked away. Nice play by Hall. And Adam Hall able to send it all the way back into the Penguin zone.
Tampa Bay gets a lot out of these front guys, huh? Thompson, Hall, Moore.
Yep. Now Stahl tried to get it to the front. He ended up the far side. Letang gets to it. Final 5 seconds of the Hedman penalty. Strong response to Brewer, taking Letang down. Here comes Hedman out of the box. He heads right over toward Neal and gives him a shot. And now the puck is cleared by the Lightning up the center ice. Here is Thompson with it. Needs Neal back to get it.
Momentum from a penalty kill.
Yep. Neal nearly able to break through as now the Penguins are 0 for 5. 1 for 30 now in this series.
Defenseman Lundin's only seen 4 minutes and 20 seconds through 40, and he's on the ice right here in a big moment.
Connor with a shot swept toward the net, and it's covered up here by Rolison. It was a 2-1 game coming into this third period. Jordan Staal tied it up, and it lasted all of 1 minute and 7 seconds before Downey regained the lead.
Where do you go to find a super business? You know, the ones who do such a super job, they're backed by the super guarantee. Only Super Pages. Wherever you are, wherever you're going, you'll find the super business you need. So next time, let the good guys save the day. Get the super guarantee, only at Super Pages. In the book, on your phone, or online.
Hi, I'm Cheeseburger. This is Buffalo Chicken, and this is Sloppy Joe.
We're brothers.
We all taste great.
Some more than others.
Hot Pocket Side Shots. 3 delicious flavors stuffed into soft baked buns.
Hot Pockets.
Experiments fail. Technologies fail. Failure is part of life. Fram filters are tested beyond any conditions you'll ever encounter to help make sure failure is not part of your engine's life. Fram, don't fail your engine.
I shall fall for grace of God, where no doctor can relieve me. If I'm buried beneath the sod, but the angels will receive me. Let me go, boys, let me go, boys. Let me go down in the mud.
When you're responsible for this much of the team, you need a car you can count on.
Welcome back to the Stanley Cup Conference quarterfinals on Versus, presented by Discover. Game 6, Eastern Conference quarterfinals. Penguins lead the series 3-2. The Lightning, though, lead this game 3-2. Time for our Subway storyline. The missed penalty shot by Connor.
Yeah, that play was still alive because the puck was moving forward. I got the explanation from the referee, but he shot it from a sharp angle. But Downey with his 3rd point of the night in the go-ahead goal. And don't forget about that save after the goal against by Dwayne Rolison. And the Lightning go back the other way, and that's when Downey scored to give the Lightning the lead.
I had a chance to chat with Mike Murphy as well in the NHL video room, because I told him you would try to get to one of the officials. Wasn't sure you were going to be able to do that, but he said, yeah, as long as the puck's moving forward, it's still alive.
Yeah, but so Connor had a chance. He could have absolutely when he did it.
Yeah.
He played it as if the play was dead, and he was just swatting at it.
Now a drive here by Niskanen up high, and it was actually Clark, the defenseman. He's shaken up a little bit. Now Niskanen. Dupuis, that didn't get through. And it's taken by LeCavalier, and he's able to get it by Dupuis and back into the Penguin zone. Now Dupuis across the line, and that play is offside.
Well, whenever you're in the defensive zone and you end up running around, there's still a responsibility that has to be had. And the left point ends up getting a couple of good quality shots. If we stop it here if we can. The first one gets through, LeCavalier goes out, and then there's a swing by there. You see LeCavalier goes to the middle, and now, whoop, there we go. And then another shot from the high end that ends up getting blocked. But you still have to trust the fact that someone else has got your position. Good save there by Rolison, no rebound whatsoever. In a good position, but you know, as we well know, the right winger, I mean, generally speaking, right winger has the left point, left winger has the left point, but if it's on one side of the ice, that opposite winger defensively has to collapse down low. Cut the ice in half a little bit. All about communication on the ice. I can hear the guys on Tampa Bay really chirping out directions and really letting the players know.
Face off to the right of Rolison. Saw a shot there a couple of moments ago of defenseman Brett Clark. He went down the runway toward the locker room, but he's back on the bench after blocking that shot.
Go!
Backhanded by Rupp. Here was Adams. Angles it off the boards, but Orpik has to come out center ice to get it.
Good now!
Oh, big bounce off the partition there.
And it bounces back the other way. Picked up here. Malone on the drive. He scores! By this puck on the dumper that I thought was going to be offside at first.
Yeah, and they Olin just fires it out. Malone leaves the zone, and he takes a slapper. That's Post has done that a couple of times for the Blackhawks. High over the glove on former mate Marc-Andre Fleury, but there's the play by Olin. After it caromed off the glass, this dump-in by the Pittsburgh Penguins was going around the glass. It takes a wicked hop. And a huge break for the Tampa Bay Lightning that they finish off. Huge break right there for Ryan Malone in Tampa Bay. Pittsburgh did the right thing. Got the puck in deep.
Back comes Kunitz on the attack. Penguins need a quick response now. Again, this is where this Pittsburgh team really struggles. No Crosby, no Malkin. They're challenged to score goals, and coming into this one for the Pittsburgh Penguins, they had now scored more than 3 goals in any of their last 11 playoff games. They're going to have to score at least 4 here to extend this banger.
Okay, what we're going to do here is show exactly what Pittsburgh wants. We show the dump-in, and it's obviously going to carry them around. But instead of going around the boards, it ends up coming into the middle of the ice. Right there, Olin sees it. Now watch, stop it here again. Watch Malone right here. He sees that happening, and he just springs loose right there. And obviously the Penguins aren't able to defend. It happened so quickly. But a great read by Malone, and I don't think that Olin actually saw Malone. Maybe I'm wrong. Looked like he just kind of slotted it out in that area.
Now James Neal gets to it. Hands it off for Kovalev. Backhand attempt, never got to the front. It was blocked by LeCavalier. Now LeCavalier knocks Kovalev down. Neal comes over to help out. He takes a hit. Kabina pinning Letestu up along the boards. Now Neal again spins away from the pressure. Sends it toward the front of the net. Deflected up high on the glass.
That's where Neal's so dangerous, and that's how we end up scoring that goal in double overtime. Rolson made 50 saves, many of them outstanding, and then Neal catches them off guard short side. Pittsburgh's going to throw everything but the kitchen sink at the net now.
Of course, Olin with the only assist on Malone's 7th career playoff goal, his first of these playoffs. 5 of the 6 goals that have been scored in this game are the first goal of the series. Bergenheim, the only goal scorer in this game that picked up his 2nd goal of the series. Now Hedman in the corner, able to spin away from the pressure. Oh, that calm little backhand diagonal outlet pass, and Malone sends it softly enough back into the Pittsburgh zone. This will be intercepted. Thompson moving in. He's got Hall coming late as Gagne taps the stick. He gets it. He misfires. Some contact between Hall and Fleury, but the play continued, and the Lightning weren't able to take advantage of it.
McCulloch fanned on that pass. He was trying to stretch it out, and he whiffed on it, and that's how the Tampa Bay Lightning were able to keep it in the zone right there by Thompson on the right side.
Now Hall, pressured by Letang. Here's Kennedy with it. And he plays it ahead. Knocked away and recovered by Olin, and that goes up into the Penguin bench and out of play. Malone, the latest goal on the breakaway to give Tampa a 2-goal lead.
There's a reason it's become a household name. Actually, there are 25. Only one vehicle has made Car and Driver's 10 Best list a record 25 times. Innovative engineering, year after year. Presenting the One. The 34-mile-per-gallon Accord from Honda.
If you had a choice between going bald and a fuller head of hair, which would you choose? Advances in medical science have resulted in the world's first and only permanent solution to hair loss. You wash it, you cut it. It's your own real naturally growing hair. When it comes to hair restoration, no one in the world has more experience than Bosley. The results look completely natural and are affordable on nearly any budget. Bosley Hair Restoration is a relatively simple outpatient procedure, but the entire process can't be explained in 60 brief seconds. So to find out more about this clinically proven permanent hair loss solution, call the toll-free number below to receive your free no-obligation information kit. It'll answer all of your questions about hair loss and hair restoration. Every day you wait, you're losing more hair, so don't put it off any longer. The phone call is free. The information is free. You owe it to yourself to find out the facts. Choose hair. Choose Bosley.
Call 1-800-987-6870. That's 1-800-987-6870.
4-2 Lightning trying to extend this to a Game 7. Let's go inside the glass, presented by Reebok ZigTech with Darren Pang, whose glass environment there has changed a little bit, hasn't it?
It has. The Tampa Bay Lightning made this change. I mean, based on the Pacioretty and Chari hit, the NHL, Dan Craig came in, they looked at it before the playoffs. They pushed the partition, the turnbuckle back a little bit, maybe a foot and a half. So they did all the work. They changed it back. It allows a lot more room, and if there's some kind of hit coming into the boards, you're not going to automatically make contact with the turnbuckle or this that's so close to the boards. Really smart play, proactive play. You know, you can't fix everything immediately, but that injury was a serious injury. We've seen a lot of them that could potentially have been as dangerous as the Pacioretty.
And you can't do it in every building, but it did work here.
Yeah.
And it allows you to hear a little better down there, doesn't it?
It does. It's fantastic. And this is, if I'm doing my rankings of inside the glass, this is right there. Top 3.
Now Thompson trying to work it ahead. Paul pushes it along. And Letang has it now for the Penguins. Letang across the line. Now it's knocked away. Olin pushes it ahead. And Downey able to get it out to center ice. Whoa. Fired right back in by Asham and Downey.
And, you know, immediately, that's the leadership of Marty St. Louis telling Downey, focus on the play. Don't worry about Aaron Asham trying to put the puck up in your face. Get back into it.
Now Kunitz, as the Penguins come back, but it's turned over. Bergenheim was loose at center ice. That pass didn't come through, but it still could be a 3-on-2. Broken up by Niskanen. And Kennedy now for the Penguins back the other way. And a lot was made about Dan Bylsma as a coach with all the great stuff he's done. Obviously winning 5 of the 6 playoff series he's coached in, but failing to clinch a series on home ice. 0-5. With a chance to close out an opponent. But 5-1 on the road. Coming into this one here. But they've got some work to do as the Penguins. If they're going to close this out on the road, they trail by 2 goals. Here's Neal trying to pull that back and snap the wrist shot, but it was poked out the stick. Now Martin bouncing it toward the front. Hedman saw it.
Oh, bad turnover there.
Yep, held in by Letestu. Did a nice job. Slides it across. Quick diving recovery by Gagne.
Well, that's good play because he was the one that coughed it up right there.
Now Hedman with it. Plays it up the far side. LeCavalier couldn't get it with a stick, trying to kick it out. Comes to the line. McCulloch holds it in. It's in the glove of Rolison, and he will hang on to it. 5:34 remaining in the third. Do the Penguins have a comeback in them? Stay with us to find out.
USA Prime Credit. I am Peggy. I help you?
Peggy? Okay. Listen, I got to be in Chicago tonight for the Stanley Cup final, and there's a problem with my card.
Naughty boy, you not pay bill.
Peggy, I know I paid it a week ago.
We must have computer problem. Hold, please.
I'll just take a bus.
Want better customer service? Switch to Discover. Ranked #1 in customer loyalty. It pays to Discover.
Andrews gets back in, and we move to the top of the 8th, tied 3-3.
Who cares if you never write a bestseller? And so what if you don't become the next .com gazillionaire? Or get a multi-year deal to play in the big leagues? It doesn't matter. Because you know how it feels to own a car that looks like $1 million. Turtle Wax Ice. Do yourself proud.
It's not a title that's bestowed, and certainly not one that's just handed out. It's a title that's earned quietly. Here's to the world's #1 dads from the #1 selling minivan. The new 2011 Chrysler Town & Country, now backed by a 60-day pledge. Love it or return it. Or instead, lease the 2011 Town & Country Touring for $319 a month for well-qualified lessees.
Stanley Cup Conference quarterfinals on Versus are presented by Discover. It pays to discover. Official card of the NHL.
And welcome back to the St. Pete Times Forum. And it is sold out, but this is the leadership of Marty St. Louis with Downey. Downey, of course, is a guy that's got full of energy, likes to get involved. Aaron Ashton fires one, gets him right in the left ear, and Downey is so concerned with it, he's looking at him. Marty St. Louis barks out to my right, and because these partitions are back, you can hear it loud and clear. Get back in the play, don't worry about it, and he does. He jumps right back into it and keeps going north. You love Downey's enthusiasm. It can be infectious, but it could also be a distraction because he sometimes lets it get the best of him.
Rolison handles this bouncing puck. You gotta love a guy like Downey, who's had a reputation as a player that'll do a lot of things physically. I mean, he's been suspended long-term for a questionable hit a few years back, but well, he's a good hockey player. Well, and
that's the point of a lot of these guys. You know, they've grown up and they've got to major junior A and they've got to minor pro and they've been draft picks and they're trying to make a mark. And, you know, sometimes the mark isn't playing outside the whistle. It's being a real good, reliable player inside the whistle. He has all the capabilities in the world. Another guy that's played well, Nashville's Gordon Tutu.
Yes.
You know, he's had a real good playoff and all that other stuff. Just be a player.
That puck is out of play. Chance to remind you, following our game tonight, check in with Hockey Central presented by Bud Light. And then at 10 Eastern, the Sharks look to close out the Kings with a win in Game 6 at Staples Center. Then tomorrow, the Flyers and Sabres square off in Game 7 at 7:30 Eastern. Followed by Chicago and Vancouver in another Game 7 at 10 o'clock. All here on Versus.
Oh, what a play that was by Letang. Great pass right there to Dupuis, cutting in the middle.
Angled aside by the stick of Rolison. Now it comes out high. Here's Letang, pulls it back, lets it go, hit the goalpost. Comes to the near side. Rolison wasn't sure where it was. He was, I'm sure, glad to hear that sound.
You know, from ice level, you really appreciate how great these players are. But that pass by Letang through traffic to Dupuis, 8 feet ahead of him through about 6 sticks to get it into the zone was outstanding.
Ooh, that puck took a strange half and Larry got the glove on it, then it's nearly recovered by Dominic Moore. Boy, the Lightning to a man. Are they ever working hard?
Yeah, they are. The one thing that the coaching staff's barking orders is get the line. That means, you know, get the line, meaning in the defensive zone. Don't just make a play that might be picked off. Get the line and then get it out. And when you're in the offensive zone, make sure you chip it in. And, you know, for the Pittsburgh Penguins, they're in a situation here where, you know, a 4-2 lead on home ice with 4 minutes, 11 seconds to go in a playoff game. Straight, that doesn't mean anything anymore.
No, but the comebacks that we've seen in these playoffs, it's incredible.
Well, you just keep putting your foot on the pedal all the time. Keep putting pressure. That play by Letang was outstanding and right off the pipe. Right. 1 inch, it goes into the left on Dwayne Rolison, and it's 4-3. Instead, it goes to the outside, and it's off the post and out.
Now Stahl drops it back. Kunitz, rink wide, doesn't connect with McCulloch. 20,309. Sellout crowd here at the St. Pete Times Forum.
How about Jeff Vinnick, the owner of this franchise, going to put $35 million into it in the off-season?
They got a lot of great programs going here in Tampa to improve the fan experience.
They've done a great job. This franchise is only getting better every single day.
Out to the line, a shot here, not much on it because the stick of Lovejoy just snapped. And it's Hedman pushing it along. And of course, congratulations to Steve Yzerman for being one of the finalists for the General Manager of the Year award. I said something to him this morning, and you know, he's just so unassuming. He just kind of shrugs and, you know, rolled his eyes a little bit. But you know what? You're elected to that by your peers. So that says something. Of course, Don Maloney, outstanding job in Phoenix, won the inaugural General Manager of the Year award as this puck rolls in on Fleury, and he just steers it aside.
I know Steve Yzerman, his goal is to be a long-time fixture in the championship area.
Yeah.
That's the bottom line. And he's got a great owner that will support him every step of the way.
Now Martin from behind his own net. Now backhanded by Brewer and flipped back through center ice. Letang drops it off now. Martin slides it ahead, Kovalev. Keep an eye on Fleury. Down to our right as we hit 2 minutes remaining in regulation time, and it's a 2-goal difference as this puck is lifted by Downey back into the Pittsburgh zone. Of course, we should mention it's Nashville's David Coyle and Vancouver's Mike Gillis, the other finalists for General Manager of the Year, also have done a great job. Along with Steve Yzerman, as Hedman here now angles it off the boards, deflected by Stamkos and picked up by St. Louis into the zone with Gagne. St. Louis puts on the brakes. Minute 35, valuable time coming off the clock. And the crowd looking for a penalty call there as Niskanen just looked like he drove St. Louis into the boards, but a long stretch pass attempt here, and that almost connected. Neal was behind everybody.
But Olin didn't really know where the puck was coming from. He was facing Neal, and his stick was on the ice, and it just hit the back blade of Olin's stick. The finger stick is on the ice.
Net is empty down to our right. Pressure here by the Penguins. They need two. A one-timer on the way. Skips off the stick of Rollis into the near corner. 1 minute remaining now in regulation time. 2-goal deficit for Pittsburgh. Niskanen slides it across. He gets it back down from Letang. Sends it down low. Here's Kennedy trying to go high short side. Rollis would have none of that. Now it's picked up by Hall and hoisted out to center ice. Sent back on the near side. Kennedy rolls it across off the skate of Stahl. Backhanded out to center ice. Letang has it there. He loses it. Now it comes center ice. A shot for the open net was blocked by Martin. Half a minute remaining. The entire crowd on their feet here at the St. Pete Times Forum as they sense that this series is going to a 7th and deciding game at Consol Energy Center on Wednesday night. And we'll have that for you right here on Versus. There is nothing like a Game 7 of the Stanley Cup playoffs, and we're going to have at least 3 over the next couple of nights to show you here. As this puck goes in wide of Rolison, Kunitz will chase it down, boots it back to the side of the net, and that's going to do it. Dwayne Rolison is now 5-0 in his career in elimination games when he starts. Only the 5th goalie in NHL history to win his first 5 elimination games. And he is congratulated. The penalty kill of the Tampa Bay Lightning was huge. The missed penalty shot opportunity by Chris Connor was also huge. As we take a look at our Bud Light impact player in tonight's Game 6. And it is Steve Downey, his first career 3-point game, regular season or playoff. A goal and 2 assists. Had a couple of assists in Game 5 as well. And as the Tampa Bay Lightning celebrated center ice and acknowledged the crowd, Darren Pang is walking over towards center ice. And he's going to grab number 6, Ryan Malone. Panger, take it away.
Thanks very much, Trades. And Ryan, a big turn